Dude, I can't mute my alerts.
How are you?
As good as I can be. Confused. Waking up and realizing I've been asleep for almost a week. Hearing that city is at war with Chang'an. Max is commissioner. It's very strange waking up to a lot of weird things happening in the city. Feels like I've been gone for ages. But it felt like, minutes, I guess.
Yeah. A lot can happen in a short span of time.
I sure we can.
It's been hell. I've been, ever since we've been back in the city, I've been involved in wars and gotten arrested, shot at, whatever. None of those were ever as bad as this. This hurt more. What happened?
I don't know if I can put into words what happened. I was at the beach. A lot was going through my mind. A lot was just building up and I guess overflowing in a sense. And a lot of time passed and kept on blacking out. My head was spinning and all I can remember is cold sand under my face. And I woke up to doctor telling me that I almost drowned. And I don't even remember being near the water. I was sitting on the beach. That's all I remember.
Is that where you wrote the letter?
Did write the letter on the beach.
You still think that's true?
What hurts have you felt the last week?
What hurt?
Yeah, you said you felt hurt. Or you went through hell. Explain it to me.
You didn't answer my question.
ask it again.
Did you mean it? I guess I'll rephrase it. Why would you write something like that? You know it's not true.
It's the amount of things that I try to tell you and express. It felt like at that point that I had to bottle everything up until it overflowed to a point, until that point.
Okay.
Do I think it's true? No. Do I know you love me? Yes. Do I not understand a majority of the choices you make? Probably no. It's hard for me. Because I remember a time when we stood on top of that tower. And we promised each other that we would build empires together. And so far, it's just been empty. It's just been an empty promise.
Did we not build an empire?
Past 5 years in Italy, sure. We had each other. We had each other every single day.
Yeah. And then we came back. And then we drew the lines. And then I wanted to do my own thing for once. And still have you. And it didn't work out. But we've built empires, Eve. I mean, when we lived here years ago, we built something. Something grew here from the bottom up. You were a part of that. I don't think it's fair for you to say that. The promise was empty. We built something. We got somewhere. Just because we didn't build it the way you wanted doesn't mean it didn't happen. We shouldn't have come here. A place like this keeps us in the past. Look at it. It's different.
You mean here, this specific place, or Los Santos?
Nah, Little Italy. We can't be living in a past like this. Otherwise, we can't move forward. You brought us here, brought me here. For that, yeah. For that same thing you mentioned, the promise.
No. Didn't.
So why are we here? Because if it ain't for that, you're the last person that should be here.
That's why I fell in love with you.
We have too much for that. This is the place and the home, or used to be the home, of the people that were betrayed. I don't think it's fitting for us to have this conversation here, but here we are. That's beside the point, though. Don't tell me there are empty promises. Don't tell me we haven't built anything. And don't tell me that it's all been lies and false expectations. I have tried to set expectations with you this entire time, the moment we stepped out of that airport. I've tried telling you where my business goes, to what extent. And I've tried including you too. But the line is never clear with us. It never is. I tried talking to you that day. Or at least the day after.
Are you being a
You didn't
hoe?
want to meet.
No.
I tried being there for you. Sorry I wasn't.
I just didn't see a point in having the same conversation. You are right. We have the same conversations. It's just, just pick a different date on the calendar. I don't want it to be like that. I just want us to have a semi-normal life where you can just come home to me. It's all I want. If I blurred the line, then I apologize. I don't think you can blame me for having an expectation when we stepped off of that plane and it being completely spun around and the trajectory changed when I least expected it. And ever since that day, I've been trying to adjust to not having you by my side. And I know you've tried. I know you've tried to make do with your time, but it's hard when every single person comes and tells me the same exact thing. And at some point, you have to ask, is it true? Yes, at that point, it's probably stirring, but it's really messed up when I already have self-doubts.
What doubts you talking about?
I guess the consideration of your time. Like Lang said, if you're not with them and you're not with me, who are you with? And I don't
There
mean
is
it.
no way you listened to Lang and you believed what he said. I can't believe you actually took that. Did you actually believe him? Is that? Oh my God, he's the one that started this.
It's the way he said it. Because he seemed like he had no idea what you do with your time when you're not with him, and then when you realize that you're not with me at all, where's that time going? Because I don't know. I never know what you're doing.
You've known Lang for so long, for so many years. I've known him for not nearly half as that. And I could smell the bullshit from a mile away. How could you not?
But that was the last thing that just made the self-doubt exponentially worse, because it's just time and time again, everybody says the same thing. Comes to me with the same thing of like, you know, where are you?
Who's everybody?
Everybody who likes to stir.
Nice. Good reliable source, huh?
Name names. Name 5 things.
Maybe that's the point. I don't want people knowing what I do. That's just the way I do my business. The people I work with know what I'm doing. Lang. Lang stirred the pot with you, and he succeeded. You took the bait. I swore you asked me that day too, right? I don't know, maybe you texted it to me. Didn't you ask me? Hold on. Oh, there you go, yeah. I told you Lang loves to bullshit, glad you believed it. That was me telling you he was busting your balls. And yet you still chose to believe him. Why? I don't get it.
Like I said, at that point, it didn't really matter what anybody else said. It had just built up in my head that what everybody else was saying was true.
Who is everybody else? Who else is saying these things? I'm sure there are people that don't work with me.
Everybody who has eyes.
Who is everybody else? Because if
You
you're talking about Big Mouth Hazel, sure. I mean, guy loves to stir too. I'm sure he would say the same. But who else? I mean, come on. Concrete information here.
Are you really doing the, you know, name 5 names type of deal right now?
Name somebody other than Lang Buddha, at the very least. Otherwise, you saying everybody says this is out of the window. I mean, who else says it?
How about, you know, after the ICU text I got from Speedy, and Harry, who asks me, you know, randomly during phone calls, are you and Luciano still married? I never see you spending time together.
Does that mean I don't spend time with them?
It's people in your crew who do this and say these things to me.
It's Harry, Lang, and Arush. Come on, Eve, please. Oh my god. Oh my god.
And you're acting like I've never held any of these people in high regard.
I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have. But in that same manner, you know how much they like to stir.
And why does it matter when it's about how it makes me feel? Or does that not matter at all?
If you knew it was bullshit, why would it make you feel in any negative way about us. Your husband, 5, 6 years, is telling you that it was bullshit. Yet you decide to believe these other fucking clowns. There's nothing I can do there. I mean,
Again, it's about how it makes me feel. Even
Okay.
if it is bullshit.
right. Yeah. So why don't you take it with them instead of taking it up with me? If they're bullshitting you and you know they're bullshitting you, why are you pissed off at them, or why don't you have a grudge with them?
I don't have a grudge
Why does it have
towards
to
you.
affect? Why does it have to affect us too? I mean, you clearly do. You took that information that he gave you, the false information, and it clearly affected you that day to a point where you blacked out and you almost died.
Like, what am I supposed to tell Lang when he asks me, oh, don't you see Luciano? Haven't you seen him today? Like, what am
Again,
I supposed
busted
to
balls.
say? No, he
You're supposed to come to me and
asks
ask me
me.
like you did, and I told you. Why does it matter what he says?
Because you're asking me to take it up with him, and that would be me taking it up with him and going back at him, but then I don't have the answers to his questions.
What questions?
Have I not seen you today? When's the last time I saw you? How are you doing today? I don't know those.
Why are you guys meeting and talking about our relationship?
We had the Cerberus reunion, and then he just asked me about you.
I don't care if you're at church. I mean, okay, so you guys met up to talk about our marriage.
No, we didn't meet up to talk about our marriage. We met up for a Cerberus reunion, and he brought you up.
And you didn't tell him, hey, let's not talk about our marriage? It's none of your business. Eve, come on. I mean, I get that it made you feel a certain way, but Jesus Christ, these guys were clearly fooling you.
I don't know why.
What do I do?
I don't know why I have to be defensive when somebody asks me how's my husband.
I'm not asking you to be defensive when somebody asks how your husband's doing.
You know what I told him when he asked me how are you? I said, don't you see him every day? Why don't you know how he is? And then he said, no, I don't see him at all. That's how he like mind game Uno reversed me.
Yeah.
I want to be able to talk about you. I don't want to be able to proudly say you are my husband. Not shut down people who ask. I want to be able to tell people how you are and how you're doing when they ask me, and not stand there like an idiot not knowing these answers when they're the most simple answers in the universe.
When somebody asks you a basic question, fine, answer it. But it's nobody's business to get in the middle of us and how we are doing, if we're divorced, if we're fighting. That's nobody's business.
Again, that's not what they're asking.
They asked you how we were, yeah?
No, he asked how you were doing.
Right. And you could have answered easily Doing all right, last I saw him. But no, you answered, wait, don't you see him more than I do?
I didn't answer it like that. I said, don't you see him every day?
Same shit, different words.
I don't know why we're arguing about this. This is so funny. Why are we even arguing about this? This is so dumb.
We are arguing about it because you were in a week-long coma. It's not dumb.
But you're picking apart the conversation I had and how I was supposed to answer it as if I can go back and change it when I can't.
I'm not picking it apart.
Well, I feel like I'm at fault when I don't feel like I should be.
Just don't let people bullshit you, is all. And if you have any doubts, ask me.
But that still doesn't change the way I feel.
Okay. So you still believe his bullshit? Is that what I'm understanding? I don't get it.
No, that's not it.
So how do you feel?
It's the feeling of I don't feel like there's consideration for that. There's no consideration for, hey, shouldn't I know how my husband is doing without having to come back to you and then ask you how you're doing? That is, I feel like that is a major point that is being missed. Like, I feel like I should already know how you are doing without having to go through 10 loops before finding out.
Simple phone call can help. I'm around. You know I'm around. You can call me. Shit, I could call you. Something we should have worked on. Both of us. Not just me. Simple phone call. Hey, how you doing? How's your day? And last I recall, we had those that week. We spent more time than we did before. Well, thanks to Survivor, to be honest. Spent some good time. And then 2 days later, you're in a coma.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Sure.
You're willing to take off X amount of time for a whole week of Survivor, but that time, you know, can't be considered to spend on us, on me.
$400,000 on the line. I was invited to an exclusive event that happens once every year, maybe. And you want me to put that aside
I never
to
said
hang
that.
out?
I never said that.
Okay?
You saying I'm not worth $400,000? That's crazy.
Oh my God. Oh my
That's
God. See, this is the shit that I don't
That's
fucking like.
crazy. That's crazy. I'm not worth $400,000. No, I'm just busting your balls, right?
I thought it was a serious question.
No, Survivor's heckin' cool. Yeah, he does miss the point a lot with things, but it's okay. I mean, this is how he is
He
as a
almost died.
person.
You're the
Honest-
worst I've seen you in years. In a coma. All because of me.
No. Shouldn't blame yourself for my actions. I think that's very unfair for you to say it's because of you. It's because of a
Nah.
lot of things. No, it's not fair to ever
You
say
wouldn't
that.
have been in that coma if it weren't for me, Eve. That's the reality of it. Whether Lang stirred or not, or whether whoever the fuck else stirred, you would have been in a coma.
It's
Regardless.
it's not fair to say that. You can say that and you can feel that way, but I'm telling you, it's an accumulation of things that led up to that moment. And no person should ever be made to feel that they are the reason for something happening as dire as that. So I ask you to not put that on you. I ask that of you.
That's not what your friend said. And they ganged up on me. Around your deathbed. Nancy, Glorianne, Alex, Belva, Hazel. Oh no, they were very adamant on how much of a asshole I was. And how come I didn't answer the phone when I was on an international flight? Oh, they were very clear about that.
Yeah, I woke up and Alex and Glorian told me that you probably hate them now.
You'd think after 5 years of marriage, these people would treat you as some sort of family, right? After all, that's what we are. For them being close to you, naturally to be close to me, too. Wasn't the case. Now, we were clearly enemies from the moment I walked in. I can't say I hate them, but now I know where they stand. I didn't come here to joke around. I didn't come here to argue, I guess. You know why it was hell this week, Eve?
Why?
Because I realized I hurt you. I hurt you like no other. I realized that from the beginning to now, things changed drastically. I was everything to you, and you were everything to me. We were good for each other. I can't say the same now. I don't know if it's the same. It doesn't seem like it. And I can't forgive myself for what happened. Maybe it's true. Maybe love is bad for business. At the end of the day, it just took 5 to 6 years to prove it. Been fighting that family saying for, well, my entire life. I saw you on that bed, and all I saw was my actions leading up to this moment, to that moment. You don't deserve that. Despite what your friend said, I mean, yeah, wasn't the best way to gang up on somebody like that, but they weren't wrong. You deserve better. I am an asshole.
No. Everything I said when we got married still stands true. The day that you stood over there at the pool, you said that you would wait for me. I never thought that I would find that happiness or deserve that happiness after everything I went through in such a short amount of time with losing Bass, with all the stuff that happened between the guild and Lang, which I still don't know if you even know the extent of how horrible that was for me and how hard I fought in the beginning of you making your choice because of how bad that was for me and how hard I wanted to protect you from that. I never wanted you once to feel like that. And that day at the pool, you saved me. And if you feel like all of your actions led up to one bad moment in my life again, been through worse. I have. And I've survived. But before meeting you, it was the worst time of my life. And if you're standing here today, you're saying that you're not good for me and that I deserve better, I don't understand why you just can't man the fuck up and be better.
Shit, no. I missed fame or shame.
If you think you're an asshole,
My vintage 93 TV totally kicked the bucket.
and if the majority of the people in that room said things and you believe them and you listen to them, then I don't know how bad it was. I heard it was bad. I don't think anybody deserves to be told things that they probably shouldn't be hearing. But a majority of the time, all I ask of you, all I've ever asked of you, is just consideration of your time. I just want to be considered. So that at the end of the day, we can go home to a house on Chumash after you rob as many fucking banks as you want, after you get out of your fucking 50th gang war? I do not care. I just want you to come home to me. And if that is not good enough for you, if you don't think I deserve that at least, because I feel like that is the bare minimum that I ask for. If you're worried about me skirting a line, nobody ever said this was going to be easy. And don't you forget what our rings say.
You should take your own advice, huh? It's good advice.
What was that?
Everything you said, I mean... You should take your own advice. You want me to man the fuck up? Any coward would have left. Weeks ago, months ago, years ago. I've tried. You want me to man the fuck up? You deserve everything, Eve. Everything I haven't been able to give you. I just don't think I'm gonna play into this again. I don't think we're gonna do this for the 15th time. I've tried. Tried dedicating time. Can't. Not as much as you want me to. Me manning the fuck up is letting you free. I just don't think we are what we were before.
What do you mean you're not where you were before?
Yeah, sure.
I'm still here. I still want to be here. But it doesn't seem like you want to.
I've wanted to. For a long time. But after that, the hospital,
So
it broke my heart.
me nearly dying warrants you to leave me.
I blame myself for your near death, yes. The very thing I swore to love and protect almost died because of my own actions. Yes.
What made you? What made you yell at me at the pier? Times I try to walk away. What inside of you made you do that? Was it the fear of losing me?
It was a mix of things. The fear of losing you. I guess was the main one, yeah.
And today, you don't have that fear at all. You don't care about that at all. You don't care about the vows that we made. You don't care about the beautiful inscriptions on our rings. You don't care about any of that.
I care.
You don't.
I do.
You don't.
Doesn't mean I'm gonna make us suffer more than we already have.
That's just you being selfish.
I'm not afraid of losing you because I feel like I've already lost you.
I'm here. I'm standing here. And you are still willing to walk away from this. Because what? It's hard? Because you'd rather go and shoot up gangbangers every day instead of coming home to your loving fucking wife? Because it's hard to deal with me at times. Is that what it is?
You really want to go down this route?
I do. I really do. I want to yell it out. Yell it out with me.
It's pointless.
Why?
I didn't come here to argue.
Why?
It's pointless. Why are we gonna bicker at each other here?
Because one of us has already given up.
So you want to yell, you want to shout.
At the end of the day, Luciano, you walking away right now, it's just gonna prove everybody right. Everybody who said those things in that ICU room, are you not just gonna prove them all right by walking away from me?
From the first day and until my last, I ain't gonna give a fuck about what other people think. They can say anything they want. It doesn't matter.
What about me?
What about you? What about Eve Summers?
I guess nothing.
You got a lot of people around you that care for you. A lot of people that will spend that time with you.
I've only wanted one person to spend that time with me, and it's always been you.
I've tried, sweetheart, but it's never enough.
Who says that? I've only ever heard you say that.
Nobody needs to say it. Your
Well,
actions show it.
my actions of wanting you with me.
Wanting is very different than it not actually happening. I've tried spending my days with you. in whatever small capacity. It's just not a capacity that you want.
You asked where the line was. You asked today. The line keeps on moving, and I told you today. But the only thing I've wanted, I don't want to fight anymore. Just wanted you to come home to me.
Easier said than done.
Why?
You know why, Eve. You know exactly why. Don't you think you've been through enough? I mean, after everything, it's gotten to a point where sometimes I feel like you fucking hate me. It's gotten to that point.
How do you ever feel that I would hate you?
Feels like we're working against each other. We have been. I don't know. It just it felt that way. Like we were enemies of some sort. Like you were fighting your battle and I was fighting mine, but we never were on the same page. Things changed after all this fucking went to shit. After the Italians and all that, it's been downhill. You leaving for Italy and I don't know. It's never been the same, Eve. You know that. And trust me, I've wanted what we had in the past. The reality is, it's never gonna be that way.
I've never once expected to come back and stand exactly here. But I never expected us to give up on each other.
Giving up implies you never tried. And we tried. How do you expect this to go? I mean, what happens from here on out? Even if this doesn't end right here, right now, where does this go? We go back to me doing business. Yes, robbing banks, killing motherfuckers, going into a goddamn war. And you doing your thing, farming. And thinking about how shitty of a fucking husband I am. And how much little time I dedicate to you. It's gonna be the same thing, right? Is it not gonna be this way? Because if you see it differently, let me know.
You see it differently. That's what I've been trying to tell you. I don't wanna ever get to this point where it's the same conversation, different day. I hate it. I hate it as much as you do. I hate.
It's been that way. It's been
I
that way
know.
left and right. And the
I
last time we
know.
talked about it, I told you this is the last time we talk in this manner. It's the last time we're gonna bring this type of issue up.
I know.
The same conversations come up, and I have no doubt in my heart
That it'll happen again.
Yeah.
So, do you know the only way it doesn't happen again is if I stop caring?
I don't think so. I think if you would understand how much shit I gotta deal with on a daily basis, then maybe you'd get a better idea that I can't be the same that I was before.
But I don't know what you do every day, and I understand I can't know what you do every day. So there's that blurred line where I know you're doing a lot of stuff, and I can. It's like I'm wearing glasses when I don't need them. Wait, that was the wrong thing to say. You understand my point?
Yeah.
The only way it changes, honestly, what I think would change is a place for us. And that sounds really, really strange, but just a place where I will be sometimes and where I know you will be sometimes. That's really all I know how things would be okay. A home. And that sounds really superficial. It does. And I've been waiting for the Chumash houses. I have been.
Yeah, the Raiders can have them all to themselves.
I see.
I'm sorry, Eve. But maybe this is what truly saves us.
I think it'll destroy me more than anything. But if you think you leaving saves me, after you were the reason that saved me in the first place, you're sorely mistaken, Luciano. I've told you what my expectations were, and it was just consideration. Your expectations of me is just understanding. I feel like it's so simple, but yet it's not. And yet that's still not enough. And yet it's still not enough for us to walk away and still love and cherish each other. And I don't know why it's not enough. Never understand why it wouldn't be enough. If all of this is just you thinking I would be better off without you, and I have to ask myself, do you know me? You don't know that I wouldn't have stood at the altar with you? I didn't trust you completely.
No, the 1970s light fixtures from Crappia.
At this point, I don't know anything.
No. There are actually cutlery caddies in the kitchen department. Seasoned vintage maneuver? Do patina look.
I'm sorry, Eve.
You don't get to walk away. You don't. You don't get to say, I'm sorry, and walk away.
Always a pleasure.
Don't.
What do you expect me to say?
I don't know. I would never put the words in your mouth.
Then I'll say this. Love will always be bad for business. No matter who or what. It'll always be bad.
And yet it brought us together.
Until it didn't.